Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know it's your favorite girl from the 504, bringing you another episode of Black Girl Interrupted. It's your girl, Ash. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Baby, we are almost to the weekend, baby. We just 2 days away from the weekend. Weekend. But anyway, I just wanted to pop in real quick and give y'all another beautiful episode. Again, as I stated last night. So, for the whole month of December, we are talking about grief, everything grief. How do you cope with losing a parent? How do you cope with losing a spouse? How do you cope with losing a sibling, a child, and a grandparent? And then we'll also get into a discussion of what is grief and how do you handle it? How do you deal with it when you're faced with it? So, anyone that is new to Black Girl Interrupted podcast, before I get started, I always do my mental health check in. I do these mental health check ins as I stated last night. It's imperative that I come in and I check the temperature. Suicide is at an all time high in the Black community. It is the third leading cause of death in Black men under the age of 55. It only takes a moment for you to stop and send somebody a text and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I love you. I hope you're doing well. Because you never know what that text could do to a person. You just don't understand. A person could be a bullet away. A person could be a drink away. A person could be a drive away from ending their life. And just to know that they're loved, they're appreciated, that they're wanted, could really make a difference. I only speak from experience because I've been on that other end. Hey, sis, happy hump day, girl. Happy hump day. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful week so far. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for coming and hanging out with your big sis tonight. But before we get into tonight's conversation, again, I always want to do my mental health check ins. Anyone that is familiar with my show, I always play something encouraging, something inspirational, something empowering, something uplifting, just to let you know that I love you and to let you know that I'm thinking about you and that I'm praying for you and praying that whatever mountain that is in front of you, I pray that you're able to get over it. I want you to know that you're still needed on this side. You still have purpose. You are loved. And I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and most importantly, I understand you. So my sister says, she says, I'm okay today. She said, I'm going through some challenges this week, but I'm standing strong for now. Let me say this to you, sis. Feel what you need to feel. If it's grief, feel it. If you're angry, be angry. If you're sad, feel those feelings. It's okay to not be okay a lot of days. I just don't want you to lay in it. I want you to understand that this only lasts for a moment. And then I need you to get up. I need you to shake it off. And I need you to own who you are and understand that what you're feeling is okay. But again, sis, like I say, I don't want you to lay in it. I want you to get up. I want you to know that you have a circumference, a circle of people around you that love you, that are walking with you, that understand those challenges that you're going through. You understand? So don't ever feel like you're alone. Don't ever feel like you can't reach out. Never feel like you have to go on this journey by yourself because you have people around you that, again, they understand. And they're willing to walk with you. They're willing to hold your hand as we all walk on this journey. We're all experiencing challenges. We're all going through something right now. But it's a matter of us getting back together, us putting it back together, us pulling those pieces and putting and making them fit. You understand? Even on the days that get rough, something in you has to motivate you to get up and to push through. Oh my God. There's my bro. Oh my God. I'm not gonna get emotional tonight, I promise. But there is my brother. I love you so much. Let's get it, GA. I am so ecstatic to see you. My brother says, there she go. My sis Ashley. He says, hope all is well with you and your family. Always love and respect. And any love that's given is always returned. So I love you, brother. I respect you. I appreciate you. I adore you. Thank you for just always loving and supporting me, regardless of where I'm at in my stage of life. But I appreciate you. I see we have some new people that are tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank y'all for coming in and loving on your girl. Man, this feels so amazing. But tonight's conversation is what is the hardest? How do you deal with losing a spouse? Again, this is December. We are rounding out the end of the year, and this is the heaviest time of the year for a lot of people. Grief is real, grief exists, but most importantly, there's no timeline on grief. Never let anyone rush you through the process. You understand? Because there are people out there that say, oh, well, it's okay. Well, we just got to do this. Everyone grieves differently. So I want people to be kind in this season. You understand? I'm not going to get emotional because y'all know I am so passionate about the conversations that we have here on Black Girl Interrupted. So forgive me for being the biggest crybaby ever. It is what it is. So, man, I love you. I adore you, and I'm so proud of you. I am ecstatic for you. So I go on and continue and say, people are grieving, not just the loss of a loved one, maybe the loss of a job, maybe the loss of a friendship, uh, maybe the loss of themselves. Maybe they're grieving their old selves as the new them, emerges. So I ask you, please be kind and be gentle to people in this season, because again, you just don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people are grieving. So again, most importantly, I'm going to repeat this again. Stop telling people to get over it, because grief hits people differently. Some people, it may take years before they finally break. Some people grieve right at the moment the situation occurs or the moment a person passes. We don't know. But I ask that you just be kind to people. Just love on people. You understand? Pick them up, encourage them, uplift them, because those tables will eventually turn. And it could be you on the receiving end. You understand? And you're going to want someone to be kind to you. You're going to want someone to be empathetic to you. You're going to want someone to extend grace to you. So I ask in this moment, in this season, please be kind, because the holidays get heavy for a lot of people. I can say for me, the holidays are difficult for me. Ever since I lost my dad, I lost my grandmother in 98. My grandmother passed the day after Christmas. So the holidays have never been the same for me. So I encourage you, if you know someone that's grieving, if you know someone that's lost someone, if you know someone that's experiencing loss let me back up. If you know someone that's experiencing the holidays and this is their first year of the loss of their loved one, maybe the loss of their job, I don't know. But it takes zero to be kind. So I just ask y'all, be kind to people in this season. You understand? Whether it's been 10 years since the loss, whether it's been 30 years, whether it's been 2 weeks, whether it's been 2 months, 2 years, it doesn't matter. Grief never goes away. The emptiness in your heart never goes away. Yes, we move on. Yes, we get up and we say, you know what? Just because their life ended, we have to keep going. That doesn't mean you can't grieve that. Because it hurts to lose a loved one. It really does. Whether it's a mother, whether it's a father, whether it's a sister, whether it's a cousin, an uncle, an aunt, a grandmother, a child, a spouse. Because losing a spouse it affects people differently. Yeah, you may have known that they were sick, but that doesn't lessen the pain. They may have left suddenly. That doesn't lessen the pain. Grief is grief. So we got a few comments. Hey, sus. I love you. I love you back. I love you, sugar. Hey, my big sister. There's my big sister. I love you. My sister says it's real heavy. She said, I'm struggling real bad right now, but God. And let me tell you, sis. Grief is never an easy conversation to have. You know what? I'm gonna save the mental health check-in for the end. I'm gonna save the let's just jump into tonight's conversation. Um, because there are quite a few people that are coming in. So welcome back to Black Girl Interrupted Podcast, or for my new viewers, welcome to Black Girl Interrupted Podcast. I am your go-to podcast where we talk about everything. This is a safe space. This is a space where we could come in, and I just encourage you to love. We have uncomfortable conversations. We address situations that some people might be scared to tap into, but I'm not afraid. We are respectful over here on Black Girl Interrupted. We love, we encourage, we empower, but most importantly, we uplift. Okay? This is a safe space. So anything you're discussing here, it's gonna be received lovingly. You understand? Regardless if we agree, we disagree, whatever the situation is, I'm gonna always embrace you with love because I'm learning and y'all are teaching me. So I appreciate that I can now be a student instead of being a teacher all the time. So we got some comments. Uh, my sister says unexpected death. She said Jesus. Mm. My brother, let's get it. GA says I'm not going anywhere. Always here to support you in your vision. We all go through things. He said crashing out is very real. I have no relationship with my son for the sole reason of his mother. It's tough. Ooh, and that's what I mean. The grief. You're grieving the loss of a relationship with a child, a mother, you know. Jewel, let's get it. GA say he's praying for you, sis. So here we go. This was this was a topic that I really wanted to stray away from because three of my closest loved ones have lost their spouse. Mm. Let me because before I even did this, I had to reach out to someone and I asked, how do you feel about me having this conversation knowing that this person is on the end of losing a spouse? And she said, sis, talk about it. So I hope tonight I make you proud. Um, I know these are wounds that we feel like they've healed, but it's like a trigger. So I don't want to trigger anyone tonight if you've lost a spouse. Um, but this is a conversation that we have to have. Let me let me really kind of take this in a moment. All right. Y'all know I'm not scared to have this conversation, but I also have to be mindful in this topic. Even last night with grief, you have to be delicate with this because grief, we don't like that. We don't want to experience, but we do. We don't want to deal with it. We don't want to go through it, but we have to. And this is a conversation that we have to have because we are all going to transition one day. And like I said last night, some get to experience true love for a long time. Some don't get it at all. Some get it for a brief moment. But we're all going to experience this. Having to sit down with your spouse, your parents, your children, and talk about death is never easy. But I had to have this conversation with my husband. Oh, I got it. I got this. Many of you know, or some don't know, my husband was diagnosed September 25th with stage 2 prostate cancer. So the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my God, my husband's gonna die. Because when you hear the word cancer, sometimes death comes behind it. So we had to sit down and we had to start putting everything in order. We had to put our ducks in a row. Although I didn't want to have the conversation, I had to. Because I may go before him or he may go before me, but we have to make preparations. We have to sort through our affairs. We have to decipher who's this, who's that, the children, the grandbabies. We have to include everybody in that. The siblings. If we go before our parents, we have to sit down and we have to have that conversation because we have to get our affairs in order. Because the last thing you want to deal with when you lose a spouse is the financial hardship that comes behind it. So we had to sit down and we had to have this conversation. It hurt me because I was like, nah, I don't even want to think about this. But he told me, he said, but we have to. He told me. I brought it to him and I was like, okay, we need to sit down and talk about it. He was like, okay. And I was like, okay, well, let's pick a day. And I just kind of let it go. And so he grabbed me. He said, we got to sit down and we got to have this conversation. And I cried. I said, because I don't want to think about that. He said, but eventually one of us is going to go. I go before you or he goes before. We don't know. But we got to get our affairs in order. So tonight's conversation is, how do you deal with losing a spouse? So my sister says, no, these wounds never heal. You just adapt. Oh, mm. That's heavy. That's heavy. Say the wounds never heal. You just adapt. Mm. Let me reel it back in. Y'all know this is heavy. But God don't ever give me a battle that I can't overcome. He never gives me a battle. So losing a spouse, how does that feel? A question that I asked was, what is the hardest part of losing a spouse? What would be the hardest part? I would say to me is the companionship. This is your person. This is someone you took vows with. This is someone that you said, I'm going to love through sickness and health till death do us part. So now the death part has arrived. And it's like, from the people that I've spoken to, they told me, they say, I felt like I lost me, a part of me. Because your spouse is your other half. That's your better half. You know what? Let me correct. That's your better half. Your spouse, your partner, your Clyde to the Bonnie or the Bonnie to the Clyde. In a good way. Let me say that, in a good way. In a good way. Y'all better not be out here robbing no banks and stuff. But y'all get what I'm saying. And they went on to say, how do I go on from this? One told me that if they had to do life all over again, they would still choose them. Yeah. My sister says, You don't deal with it. I promise you. You have to keep moving or you'll truly lose yourself in the midst of your grief. And I was told that. I was told that when their spouse passed, they didn't know if they were coming or going because this was a person that they woke up to every day. This was a person they went to sleep to every day. This was a person that they used to hug and kiss as they walked out the door to go to work. And she said, I still sit by the door and I still wait for him to walk through the door. I still sleep with him in the bed. This person had their husband cremated. She said, he stays with me every night. She said, but I feel empty a lot of days. She says, I come home from work and it's silence. Silence. I don't have anyone to cook for anymore. I don't have anyone to watch my favorite show with. I was also told financial, the financial hardship that comes along with losing your spouse is you go from living a particular life to maybe you have to downsize, maybe you have to cut back on some things because now it's gone from a two income household to now one. I've told us a barrage of things that happen, but they couldn't just specifically say, this is the hardest part or that's the hardest part. But they say they feel empty. The house doesn't feel like a home anymore. I was told that when they walk into their home, it feels strange. It doesn't feel like their home anymore because their mate is gone, their partner is gone. And I think about that with my husband. When we had to sit down and we had to make preparations, we had to write out wills and how we want things designated should one of us go before the other. And it hurt me to have to think about that because I see this man every day. I lay down with this man every day. I wake up, I go to sleep, I laugh, I joke. We have a routine where we watch our shows on certain days. But I know this is a conversation that has to be had. My sister says, you lose a part of you, you'll never get back. She said, Jesus, you struggle daily. And that's what I've been told is that you have to, it's almost like I have to rewrite my story now, but I have to not include this person. But I say you still put that person in your story because they were and still will always be a part of your story. So I made this, we got everything together. We got our wills. And then I hugged him and I told him, I said, thank you for preparing me, you know. And he said, no, thank you for preparing me. He said, because now we have everything in order. Now we don't have to worry about the financial. We don't have to worry about people arguing over money and what's going to who because we've already written it out. We've already designated who's going to do this, who's going to be in charge of that. And again, I know that this is difficult for us to have to sit down and have this conversation, but please know it has to be had because the last thing a widow or a widower wants to deal with is the financial struggles because nothing was put in place. Now you have family arguing and children arguing and saying, well, he told me I could have this. And no one wants to deal with that. So I said, get your affairs in order right now. Go ahead and make the preparations. I understand. You don't want to do that because you don't want to think about it. But if your spouse passes today or tomorrow, then what? Not only are you left to deal with the grief of losing your partner, your spouse, your mate, but now you got to deal with the family. Now you got to deal with the money. Now you got to deal with his affairs or her affairs because no one wanted to sit down and have the conversation to get everything in order. So again, I say in this season, my sister says, just the thought of my husband. It's like you get gut punched most days. The emptiness is unexplainable, and I don't wish this pain on anyone. I know. I remember the call. And mm, and I said, what? I remember the post. And I'm grieving with you because I'm like, this is my brother. You understand? Like, this is my big brother right here. I know. Wait a minute. Not. This can't be real until I got the program. And I was like, the reality set in. And then I couldn't get to my sister like I wanted to. I wanted to run as fast as I could to her. I wanted to hug her. I wanted to carry the pain and the grief for her. But she told me, just pray. Just pray for me. My cousin, who lost her husband the day after my husband was diagnosed with prostate cancer, they just got married. They had just gotten married. I witnessed their wedding. And he was gone. And I asked her, I said, I waited. Because when she called me, she texted me. And I called. I didn't even text back. I FaceTimed immediately. And I just screamed. And I was like, no, wait, I can't, it just was too much. Because here, my husband was just diagnosed with prostate cancer. Her husband passes the next day from pancreatic cancer. So I asked her, once the ceremony was over and she wanted to talk. And I asked her, I said, well, how are you feeling? And she said, I'm here. And I said, are you living or are you existing? She said, right now I'm just existing. But then she says, now I'm living. And I asked her, what does it feel like? And she said, it's empty. She said, I sleep with him in the bed every night. She has his urn in the bed with her Bible and her pistol. I say, girl. She told me, baby. She said, I got to protect mine. And so we talked. And she said, if I had to choose him, she said, if I had to do life all over again, she said, I would still choose him. I said, see, you experience true love on this side. We were watching the Lauren London episode. And I said, would you ever date again? She said, I don't think so. And she said, because I don't feel like there's anyone out here that would love me the way that my husband did. And like you said, sis, man, that was like a gut punch when she said that, because it made me think about my husband. It made me think and realize I've got the most amazing human. I married the most amazing human being. And I just could not imagine life without him. He is definitely, oh God, he is definitely my love. Hey, sus. Oh, that's my baby. Here y'all are. Oh my gosh. Here y'all are. They're my babies. Oh my goodness. Let me take a breath, because they're my babies. Mm. All three of them are here. And so she goes on to tell me, she says, hey, sus. Hey, baby. Jewel say, thank you for the prayers. Jewel says, exactly. Tisha says, ouch. Mm. So we continued on with the conversation. And she said, she doesn't feel like, and I understand. And I looked at my husband, and while he was asleep, and I was just like, I just don't know how I would do life without him. Oh, Misha says, you know what I've been through? Yes. And that's why I'm having this conversation, because it's the holidays. And I know it's heavy for a lot. Again, some this is their first holiday without their loved one. This may be their 5th year, their 10th year, their 30th year. We don't know. But again, these conversations are imperative. So let me ask you, ladies, what is the hardest part of losing a spouse? What has been the hardest thing for you losing a spouse? And you could just drop in the comments, because I've been around these 3 beautiful women, and to see their strength. Oh God, it just warms my heart, because these 3 ladies are strength. Their resilience. You understand? Oh goodness. Mm. My sister says she's right, because you'll never get that kind of love again. I'm lifting her up in prayer. My baby says, I married the most amazing soul. Thankful. Oh my God. My favorite Libra. My baby says, there's no preparing for grief. I just keep repeating God's words back to him. My sister says, very heavy on me. It's been 4 years. Man, has it been? Yeah. So I say to you ladies, I walk with you. I stand in solidarity with you ladies, because you 3 have shown me strength. You ladies have shown me that regardless of what life throws at you, you still stay strong in your faith. And oh God, I love that. I love that. And if I could hug you ladies a million times over, baby, I'm hugging and never letting go. So again, my sister says it's year 10 and it feels like yesterday. Man, yeah. Tisha says, that's my baby right there. My little beige baby. She said the memories are soothing and hurtful. Misha says you learn to live without them. Tisha says, our greater days are still ahead, and they are. Because God gave y'all real love. God allowed y'all to feel your person. We had to eat a lot of bad apples, baby. We had to eat them apples with the worms in them before God gave you the ripe one. Jules says, you can't single out one specific thing because you truly miss it all, especially the moments when he would do something so crazy and the laughter is uncontrollable. Man, I miss that the most. Man. And I think about that. When like I said, when we had to sit down and we had to make, get all the preparations of, what do we want done after we pass? I want to be cremated. He wants to be cremated. It was the thought of, I can't see myself being without him. I'm like you, Jewel. We have a routine. Mondays we watch this show. Tuesdays if we don't watch whatever we miss on Monday, we catch up to it on Tuesday. We watch something on Wednesday. We have something on Thursday, Friday. If we miss anything through the week, we catch up on Friday. We do, we run to Whataburger, we go get chicken, Panda Express, whatever it is, and it's just us. So I think about that. Tisha say giving up is not an option. She said that unconditional love, the soul love. She said the good morning, beautiful. Man, the kiss on the cheek or the kiss on the lips. Hey, baby sis, what's going on? She said the sleeping with the urn. Yeah. Misha says you still have to stand. They want you to go on. It's not easy, but you have to stand strong and pray. Tisha said love doesn't die. No. And I don't believe that. I only believe so the body stays. But I feel like when they transition, their soul comes back somewhere else. I just really truly believe that. I'm just saying. Because my son acts just like my grandfather, like a little old man, y'all. But let me ask you ladies this. When you lost your spouse, how did it affect you? Because I know mentally it did. I know emotionally it did. I know physically it did. Did it, again, did it hurt you financially? Did you ladies have everything planned out with your husbands? I want to know. Because again, one day I'm going to experience it. You're talking to someone who may be on their spouse may be sick with a terminal illness and they're saying they're preparing their final goodbyes. What are some of the things that you ladies can share to help someone that may be going through this right now? You ladies have experienced it firsthand. You ladies, mm, how does it affect you? So Javert says, I hate the times I didn't spend with him. I allowed distance to be my excuse, but I knew I had more time. Tisha says we are more powerful in the spiritual realms And we are. Tisha says you gotta pray to eat. Jules says good night, everyone. Praying for us all. Tisha says you gotta pray to brush your teeth, etc. Yes. Misha says I miss traveling with him all over the world. The walks on the beach, the long talks. He was my everything, Mr. Make It Happen. Oh yes, my favorite Sagittarius, and he was my soul brother. I don't care what nobody say. That was my soul brother. I think we were connected because we were both Sagittarius. But listening at you ladies and speaking with other ladies and men who've lost their wives or girlfriends said it took a toll on them emotionally. And so I asked, can you explain? What do you mean? And they said, because I took them for granted. I thought I still had more time. And that's deep. Because we're all on borrowed time. So I found this video, y'all, with TD Jakes, where he talks about how do you handle grief? So we're going to watch this and then we're going to jump back into the conversation.
I found out later that my daughter and her husband had been on that exact same helicopter just a few weeks before. So that really struck home to me. I think to the greater nation, I would like to say, the way you cope with that pain is by grabbing close who you have left. Loving them, holding them, not taking them for granted, sending the extra note, the extra text, the extra hug, the extra kind thing. It's the lessons we learn of the brevity of life that makes life special. If we lived forever and there were no end of life, life would not be special. It is death that makes life special. And understanding that brings it into perspective where we stop wasting things like time, having love for people we don't tell them, not resolving old conflicts, having unforgiveness, are the enemies, the cancer that eat up this precious commodity that we call time. The real hard part is to deal with the family because we lost an icon and a star and somebody that we projected ourselves on and wanted to be like in some ways. Or sometimes they lost daddy. They lost daddy, they lost a husband, they lost a lover, they lost a secret keeper. That's a whole, as a public figure, I understand there's a huge difference between your public persona and who you are as a person.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you talk about your daughter being on that same helicopter. I remember when there was an explosion at your home.
Right.
Your family was there.
Right.
Your wife recently went through a medical emergency. And you were at a crisis point within your own family with her health alone.
I've been through many. I mean, we've been married 38 years, and 38 years and raising 5 children. We've had almost everything that could happen has happened. The few things that haven't happened, I don't want them to. Okay, please, God, hear me. But you know,
what happened with your wife, Gary?
My wife went through a major surgery, and suddenly, it was Saturday morning. She's getting up to go to address the women at the church, and she texted me. I was in the kitchen doing something. Said, "Help! I'm in trouble." And I got back there, and in a few minutes, she had collapsed on the floor. So all of a sudden, I have these paramedics all around her. We've had to call 911. That image will be with me all of my life. There I am riding on the back of an ambulance with my wife to a hospital while they do EKGs, trying to rule out her heart. Comes to find out that she had 3 feet of dead, literally dead intestines inside of her.
In that moment of a family crisis, as I said, the explosion at your home in Dallas with the family there, your wife's health, how does Bishop Jakes comfort Bishop Jakes?
You know, I don't. I take the luxury of being human. I very rarely get it. So I wasn't trying to be a pastor at that moment. I was trying to be a good husband. I was trying to protect my family when the back end of my house exploded. The pool equipment up under my house exploded. And in a moment, everything sucked all the water out of the pool, shattered glass, threw cinder block for about 20 feet down the backside of my yard, right above my son's bedroom. The only thing that mattered to me was getting my son out of there.
Your journey started at age 17 as a minister.
Yes.
What called you? You were in West Virginia.
I was in West Virginia. I recognized the call to preach. I was terrified of it. I ran from it for about 2 years.
Is it literally a call where you are lying in your bed and something says, this is what you must do?
It is both a call and an attraction. It is like steel and magnet. It pulls you. It destiny.
How long
pulls
did
you.
you run from it?
2 years. 2 wild, crazy, tempestuous, bad years that I don't want to talk about on TV. But I ran from it because I tried to convince God that I was not the right guy.
Yeah.
You know, I told him a very telling statement. I said to him, get one of those good people to do it.
So you saw yourself as a bad person?
Not one of those good people.
Not one of the good.
Yeah, I wouldn't go so far as to say I thought I was a bad person, but I didn't think I was one of those naturally good, pristine, holier than thou kind of people. Now I'm kind of glad I wasn't.
Right.
I think the strength of my ministry has been my normalcy and the fact that I connect with people.
That you're approachable.
Yeah, I'm approachable.
You're
I'm a
approachable.
guy. I'm flawed. I laugh at myself. I make mistakes. I'm a regular person. But back then, ministers didn't do that. They were like, God had to, God stepped out on space, you know.
Man, just to hear that and to know that he could have lost his wife in that moment, beautiful. Just a beautiful story and a beautiful take on grief. So Tisha says, no regrets. Misha says, you know him. He love you, sis. Tisha say, girl, get up. Misha says, I would love to come up and share some of my stories. I sent you the link, sis. Come on. Tisha says, greater is the affliction of those that are chosen. Good night. I love you. I love you, honey bun. So again, I ask, how does losing a spouse affect you? You know, again, I've heard that it's affected them mentally, it's affected them emotionally. Some people have said it affected them spiritually. And I was just, trying to understand. And they said, when you lose someone, you're angry at God. Because it's like, how dare you take my person away from me? How dare you tell that person that they can't be with me anymore? So, hold on, here's my sister. Let me get her on. Hey, Sugar Plum. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if I could fix your mic. Okay. You're so beautiful. Let me see if I can do your mic. Okay, hold on before you do that. Okay, so she's going to come back in. But I said, well, why were you upset with God? And they said, because this was my person. How could you give me somebody and then you take them away from me? So I understood. I respected it. I didn't like it, because I don't know, maybe because my faith in God is so strong. And I understand that, we're all going to go. We're all going to go one day. Again, some than others. Some get to experience love longer. Some don't get to experience it at all. So we're just patiently waiting on my sister. So while we're waiting, again, for everyone that is just now tuning in, welcome back or welcome to Black Girl Interrupted podcast. It's your girl Ashley, your favorite girl from the 504, bringing you another beautiful episode. So, for the month of December, we are discussing grief. Tonight's conversation is how do you deal with losing a spouse? So, I have my sister getting ready to come on to talk, share some stories about how it's been for her. She lost her husband 4 years ago. And again, this is the time of year, holidays. It gets heavy for people. It gets very heavy. Let me go ahead and grab her. Let me grab her. Oh, come on.
Hey sis,
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can fix. You look so pretty. Let me see. Can
thank
I
you.
change? All right, let me see. Can I fix your mic? Because I got you in here. See if that'll work for you. If not, I'll change it back to
Okay,
the AirPods.
I got it.
Let's see
Can you hear me?
this. There we go. Let me do to the AirPods. See, this is one of the reasons why I just despise.
Apple give you
I'm
so much.
going to.
I can
I'm
take them
gonna
out
do
if you want
this
me to.
so we can hear you.
Okay, let me take out my AirPods.
All right, there we
That's
go. You're good.
okay.
You're good. How
How
you
you
doing,
doing?
sugar? I'm
I
good,
am
baby. How are
fine.
you?
Blessed and highly favored. I love
So,
what you're doing. So you can ask me any questions. Um, I will answer 'em, and I share my story.
so let me ask you. This is year number 4
hmm
without your husband.
hmm
When he first passed, what was your thought process? What were you like when you got the news?
Well, I didn't get the news. I was there watching him take his last breath.
Mm.
Um, I held his hand, talked to him. I played our play music, slow music that we listen to when we go to bed at night when he's on the road. And I knew that was gonna be the last time because it was different.
So
It
let
was
me
different
ask you, what was different about this time than any previous times with him?
because it was like a feeling that he wasn't gonna be here anymore. Like the butterflies I used to have, butterflies weren't there no more. My heart was just aching, you know. It felt different. So when he was like alive and wasn't going through what he went through, um, I had butterflies. And it was like a numbness started coming over me and my heart just felt like it was very heavy. And I was praying and crying and but the most part that when everything happened, that Wednesday night I talked to him, good spirit, wasn't nothing like he was normal. So the next morning he called me. The spirit still, I'm at work and we talking about 9 o'clock. You get ready to, get on the road or whatever. So 11 o'clock, his auntie called me. She was like, oh, they rushed him to the hospital. I said, what? He's not doing good. I said, what? Everything was just like 2 hours later, it just went. But he went to drop his load off. And when he went in, the guy said he was normal when he came in. He went back out to his truck and they was trying to understand why he wasn't bagging the truck on the door. So he told the guy, he said, go out there and see what's going on. It's taking him too long to put the truck on the door. Went to the truck. He was slumped over, foaming at the mouth. They rushed him to the hospital, put him on life support. Come to find out, he had an aneurysm and it burst in his head. And The most difficult part, leaving and he not coming with me. Had to fly all the way out to Nebraska.
Yeah.
And getting on that plane alone without him, I was numb. I was lost. And it felt like it's just yesterday it happened because he was the love of my life. I had to learn to live without him still this day. He always, little stuff happen. He'll come in my memories on Facebook, or I see a red bird, uh, some song will come on that was our favorite song. He just let me know, oh, I'm still with you. I'm just not there in the flesh. I'm here with in spirit. So I learned it's not easy going through that at all. It's not like when they are the provider the provider and the protector and your everything, and y'all have a routine pattern. Y'all call each other in the morning.
Mhm.
You sit down and eat in the morning together. You know, you have a routine, and then when that routine change, it's hard. So, my house
Yeah.
I sold it. I sold it because I
That
couldn't
was a
stand there.
huge house.
I could smell it sitting there,
Yeah.
like it's smelling like. And I still have things to this day. I have his motorcycle right now, and I'm finna get rid of it because it's just sitting. It's just sitting. Little stuff over the years I have let go, but it's so hard. It's so hard.
So let me ask you, sis. Gift passes. You have to come back to Mississippi.
Mhm. Come on, you
You
can
come
do
back
it.
to Mississippi.
Mhm.
You walk in that door. What did you say? What your
What did I
thought
say?
process?
What was my thought?
Yeah, you come in. He's
I just
gone.
thought I just start crying. I stayed in the bed. I got up, like took a shower and laid back down. I was in the bed for 2 weeks. Well, not 2 weeks. I said after the funeral and all that kind of stuff. When I came back, I cried. My kids were there for me every step of the way. My kids was there with their mom. And I had so much to do. I had to plan for a funeral. His 18 wheeler was in the shop. It was just so much.
Hmm.
And it was all on me.
Right.
But it's a God I serve.
I
It's
just
the
got chills. Did
God,
you see that?
the
The hair on
God,
my arms just stood up the
the
moment
God I
you said
serve. He carried me through it. When I say I was numb, I didn't even grieve the first year. I
yeah.
was numb. When I started grieving, the second year,
I've heard
it
that.
hit me. It hit
I've
me.
heard that.
You know, when he passed away and I did the funeral and everything, I come home, I sat in the bed 2 weeks. My little old white neighbor, she's sweet, she can be, I used to take care of her. He said, he wouldn't want you to do that. Get up out that bed. Get up out that bed and come drink some coffee with me. That's what she said.
Mm.
I said, no. She said, oh, yeah, I'm going to come over there and get you like
And
that.
that
I
was
said, I'm
your
finna.
routine. Girl, you
Yeah,
would get up, your coffee, you go sit on that front porch, you would smoke
yeah,
a cigarette, he would smoke a cigarette,
yeah,
and y'all
yeah.
would let, oh man.
But my neighbor, this Barbara, rest her soul, because she passed away too. And she was my strength. She was 80 some years old. She was my strength. So he wouldn't want you to do that. So after I did all that, sold the house and everything and moved to where I'm at now, I went to school to get my dentist assistant license.
I saw
And
that.
I got my radiology permit.
I saw
So
that.
I kept my mind moving. But
Right.
then when that mind stopped, that's when it hit me.
The reality set in. I heard that. A friend of mine who
I
lost
kept I kept busy, I kept busy, you know.
a friend of mine that lost his wife, he said she's been gone 6 years now. He said the
Mhm.
first 2 years, he said I just kept going and going and going and going. And he said, what triggered it? He was in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And he had walked into some store and they were playing a song.
Mm-hmm. Oh, them songs get you every
And he
time.
said, he broke. He said, man, them people was getting ready to take me to jail. They thought I was. He said, I had to tell the security guard. He talking about, no. He said, I lost my wife. 2 years, she had
Yeah,
breast cancer.
yeah,
She was misdiagnosed,
yeah.
which happens a whole lot. But he said he went in the store and he said it was an Anita Baker song. He didn't say what song, but he said it was just Anita Baker. He said, and I
Mm-hmm.
just broke. He said,
Them
because
songs will get you every time, I promise you. And I listen to music, but I don't listen to it like I used to
yes,
because we had a playlist and we had a bunch of music like when we travel over the road. Cause like he done took me to 48 countries. I done been to 48 states,
mhm,
like all over the world, you know. So learning to live without him still to this day, cause you know, we buried him the day before Thanksgiving.
yep,
And a week after that is his birthday. His birthday, December the 6th. You know him a Sagittarius.
mhm,
So it's like a bittersweet moment for me.
right,
But I still celebrate him after death. I keep our memories, close to my heart. And I tell people all the time, it's okay to cry. Cry as long as you want. Because them your feelings, them your
yeah,
emotions. Can't nobody tell you how long to grieve. Can't nobody tell you how to feel. That's your feelings.
right. And they're valid. I said that last night. There's no timeline on grief. This whole month of December, I'm talking about grief. Last night I spoke on how does it feel to lose a parent. Now it's how do you deal with losing a spouse?
Well, I lost my dad. I
Yep.
found my dad dead.
Yeah, I
So,
remember that. I remember you
I
telling me
went
that.
through that too. So I feel your pain dealing with your dad
Yep.
because I was a daddy girl, straight
Me
up.
too.
You couldn't say nothing about my daddy, baby. It's gonna be some furniture
Man, do
moving
you
when
hear
you say
me?
something
I'm gonna
about my
turn it down.
daddy. I love my mom, but my dad, oh no, 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 that's a
That's
no-go.
a whole different type of love.
Yeah. And then losing him, my dad, then losing him, both of them was my hero and my rock. It's like it took something out of me.
But by
Can't
God,
even I can't even explain the feeling. But I'm more now calm, but I'm very sensitive. And I'm asking God to heal those areas where I'm sensitive at.
right.
Because like it took a big chunk out of me. And
Because that
people
was
don't
your thing.
understand. They be like, you cry too much. Well, I cry, but I don't cry like I used to. I'm getting better with that. But people like, you cry? Why you crying? I said, first of all, you ain't experienced what I
See,
experienced.
and that
So you'll never understand.
and that's exactly what I said at the start of the show. I said, be kind to people because the tables will turn. You will
Yes,
then
it will.
be on that receiving end, and you're gonna want someone to have grace and empathy for you in
Yes.
your time.
Yes.
Whether it's a spouse, whether it's a child, whether it's a mother, a father, a sibling, a grandparent. We're
Yes.
talking about all of that this month
Hmm.
in December because these are the holidays. It gets heavy and
Yes.
people don't understand.
Very,
It doesn't matter if
very,
it's been 20 years. It doesn't matter if it's been 2 years, 6 months.
very.
Stop telling people to get over it.
No. One thing about it, you'll never get over it.
Oh no. That
But
whole season.
you'll learn how to deal with it better
Right.
as time progress. You know, um, I don't understand, people because we all got to go down that journey, whether we want to go or not.
Right.
But when you see somebody going through that, talk to them, listen to them, be a listening ear. A
Right.
lot of people turn their back on you and go their separate. I had to go through mine by myself.
I
You
said that
you
last
would you
night.
would text me or call me and say, how you doing, sis? And
Yeah,
I just, I appreciate everybody who checked on me. But the ones that I really want to embrace me
they
didn't
did.
embrace me.
And that's
So
the hardest part. And that's what I said last night. I said everyone is there with you the first 3 months, maybe 6 months. You may get 6 months with somebody.
yes,
But then after that, the phone calls become far and few in between because they don't want to hear that. But then when their time comes, They want you front and center. So I tell people, extend grace because
Yes.
again, you're gonna be on that end where you're sitting front row and you gotta close that lid or you gotta carry that however that you do with that remains in the end, you gotta deal with that in the end. I had to go
But
through
you,
that when my daughter lost her father last year,
yes.
you know,
Mhm.
and it was whether I saw eye to eye with him or not, I had to stand up and I had to be there for her. You understand?
Yes.
I had to because
Yeah.
I lost my dad. You know,
Yes.
even when my husband was diagnosed with prostate cancer, we
Mhm.
had to start getting everything in order. I didn't want to have that conversation because I didn't want to think about life without him. You know, when he
Mhm.
told me he had cancer, I was like, what? How the hell did that happen? You know,
But one thing about it, God is a great physician.
man, do
No
you hear
matter
me?
what the doctors say,
Hmm.
God, but God, but God.
Baby, when I tell
Have
you,
faith more than a mustard seed. What the doctor said when he go back to that doctor, he gonna get a good report.
mhm.
Believe in it right now in the
Oh
name of
yeah.
Jesus. God will never fail you. Long as you keep your faith and
Mhm.
he keep his faith. Hey, God perform miracles every day.
Cause baby, when it came when he called me and gave me the news,
Mhm.
I didn't even think about me in that moment. I just how does he feel? You understand?
Mhm.
And they called it early, stage 2. He
Mhm.
starts radiation on the 18th, next Thursday. But like I told him, God had already healed you. You just got to take the human medicine because your recovery is going to be beautiful. And ever since I changed and I've revamped, let me say this, revamped my relationship with God, He's opened doors that I never thought that I would be able to open.
Mhm.
God has moved on my behalf. And this is why it was imperative for me to have this discussion in the month of December because grief is heavy.
Mhm.
And
Very.
people have lost their faith. When they lose a loved one, they're mad at God. And I understand, I get it. I was mad with God
Mhm.
when my father passed. Why? Why,
Yeah,
Lord, why
because I
you
was
take him
telling
away?
you, I remember I used to tell you, don't feel like that.
Man, I
You
was
like,
so
I'm
angry.
angry. I was like, oh my God, this girl right here.
I couldn't.
But you grow. You have grown, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of
I
you.
had to, like my therapist told me, my house had to be torn down and rebuilt
Mhm.
because God says, how can you live in a house with a roof and only a foundation?
Mhm.
And I say, but I've been making it. He said, but how has that turned out for you?
Mm.
You're in a house with a roof and a foundation. You don't have nothing to hold that roof up. So eventually it was going to collide. It was going to collapse.
Mhm.
So I had to learn to extend the same grace that I wanted to other people. I had to learn if I wanted empathy, I had to give empathy. You understand? I had to redefine my relationship. I had to sit down with me and I had to say, you know what, God? I'm ready.
Come on now.
I need you to come and I need you to
Yes.
change my heart.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Lord.
I need you to save me from me
Yes.
because I was my worst enemy. A lot of people don't, and that comes with growth, and that comes with age, that comes with wisdom, that comes with experience, that comes with
Baby.
losing people, that comes with getting things replaced. Because when God took my dad, I asked God, I said, how am I supposed to do this? I'm in Alabama. I ain't never planned no funeral. Here I am, I'm by myself. So God said,
God was
hold on.
with you.
He said,
God
hold
with
tight,
you.
I'm gonna send some people to you. He sent my father's church family to
Hmm.
me. And
Hmm.
every day that I was in Alabama until the day that I left, they was my pillars. You understand? When I felt like I couldn't get across that finish line, they say, come on, we gonna drag you across.
Yeah.
So even when my husband told me he had cancer, I said, I immediately prayed. Because once they diagnose you, you gotta go in for the scans to make sure it ain't nowhere else. And I told him, I said, let me tell you something. That cancer ain't nowhere. It's still in the same spot where they found it. It's in his prostate. He went in, did the scans. He was nervous. I said, what you nervous for? I said, baby, I didn't already talk to God. God says you're
Healed.
healed. He goes
Healed.
in. Doctor told him he said, The cancer ain't nowhere else in your body. It's just still in your prostate.
Mm,
You're healthy. You got
mm,
a strong heart. Your liver
mm.
looks good. Every organ in his body looks good. So
He
his
okay.
recovery rate is wonderful.
He gonna be just fine.
Absolutely. I told him, you're gonna look back at this and we're gonna be like, babe, you remember that weapon that formed and it prospered just a little bit? But God came and took it back. You remember that? Remember that weapon that for just a touch. It didn't prosper all the way, but just a touch.
Mm-mm. Yes.
So I'm grateful when I
Yes.
have these conversations
Mm-hmm.
because I get to learn from the
Mm-hmm.
ones that have experienced it. So it prepares me for when my time comes or when my husband's time comes. We know how to handle it. We know how to deal with it.
If you don't have God, if you don't have God,
You don't
you don't
have
have
nothing.
nothing. And one thing, I'm looking at you, and I know you. Me and you, hey,
Yes.
you have grown so much. I'm so proud of you because they don't know Ashley.
I
I
know
know
that's right.
Ashley. You was a
I was
live
surprised
wild,
that people
a
want to
wild
fight.
card, a wild card. Didn't care one fight. I said, wait, hey, chill out.
Yeah,
But I thank God for your growth.
I had
And I'm
to.
gonna share, and I'm gonna share something with you about my dad. I didn't even know my dad had prostate cancer at all.
Mm,
You know how I found out? When AM Service got the medicine, and I said, what that medicine for? He said, for prostate cancer. I said, what?
yeah. Huh?
My daddy held it
Oh yeah.
from us. But my daddy was at his last stage, like, he was at his last stage. And my daddy was stubborn,
Mhm.
and they put in the catheter. He was like, I don't want that. I said, did you urinate? He was like, yeah, I did. He probably didn't. And what happened, the fluid backed up and choked him.
Yeah.
So I experienced that, planning for his funeral by myself, didn't know which way to go. But thank God for his nephew and his nephew's wife. They was there every step of the way. I didn't know which way to go. And my husband that passed on, he was there. He took a lot of load off of me too. I was like, whew, planning a funeral is not easy.
No.
And then trying to grieve at the same time.
In the midst of all of that, because you can't grieve because you have to be able to focus and function to make these arrangements. You have to
Yes.
stay focused and be able to function to get
Yes.
through this. And then
Good.
when the funeral comes, you still got to keep it together because guess what? You got to stay strong for you. You got to stay strong for the family.
The grandchildren, the great grandkids.
All of that. The nieces, the nephews, the,
Yes.
the other
Yes.
children. But then it was like,
Yes.
once that's said and done, once that day is over,
Mm.
it's what do I do now? Where do I go now?
One thing when you dealing with when you're married, if you go or he go first or whatever, when you dealing with that, you have to gather you together because it'll mess with your mental.
Hmm. That was my next
And
question was how did losing him, how did it affect you? Again,
my
I've heard
mental,
people say it affected them spiritually. A lot of people, like I said, they were mad at God. I've heard some people say it took a toll on them physically.
well, it didn't take control of me mentally, spiritually, because we'd already talked about it because travel a dangerous highway a
Right.
lot. So, he would say, if something happened to me while I'm on that road traveling, I want you to go on with your life. Don't sit around and weep and cry and, enjoy your life because I live my life. If it was time for me to go, it's time for me to go. And we had those conversations often. But this time when he left, he kept saying he had a headache. And I was like, well, you need to go to the hospital or let him do something, see what's going on with your head.
Right.
And he had a hat with his name on it and a blanket. I used to pray over it, I used to take it all the time on the road in his hat. This particular time, he left the hat and the blanket. And I said, oh my God. He never leave home without that.
He knew. He
He
knew.
it's a hug he gave me when he left. It felt different.
He knew.
And on that trip, him traveling, take that load, he was calling me every minute on the hour, video calling me, playing music. Like he was just all over the place. But he was happy though.
Right.
I'm saying to myself, like, Lord, what is wrong? Because he don't call me that many times. I mean, he was just and when I sat at that bed on side of him, I got up and got on my knees. I just prayed and cried out to God. I said, God, whatever your will is, what your will is, not mine, but what your will is. And he just, man, took that thing off. I looked over there, and that was over with. And like I say, people don't know my story if they don't read all the chapter. And I have, been a lot like to myself. Like I don't like a lot of chaos or nothing. I just like peace. Just peace. Because when you dealing with something, and like I said, my heart go out to you. If God brought your husband to it, he gonna bring him through it. I want you to be strong, baby.
I
I
have.
want you to be strong. You have to be strong for him and for yourself. Because us as women, we are the praying warriors
Yeah.
for our husbands. I know he probably prayed, but you pray too.
And I had
And you
to ask.
stand, and you done grown so much, and God ain't gonna bless you with something that you love so much and take it from you because you deserve everything you have.
So let me ask you, sis. It's been 4 years.
Mhm.
Would you ever get back into the dating game again?
I'm married. It took me a minute, but I did it. It was hard, but I remember the things we talked about. And he was like, I want you to keep living your life. Don't put your life on hold because I'm gone. I'm not coming back. And we had these conversations. I'm like, boy, stop talking like that. I don't want to hear none of that. We had those conversations. So
I'm happy. I
I've been
see the
married going
glow.
on 3 years, and he been gone 4 years.
I see the glow. I see the glow. And I could see all them goals in his mouth, him grinning big as hell.
He just want me to be happy after life. He still wanted me to be happy. He still wanted me to enjoy myself. He don't want me to be like sad. All I can do is keep our memories close to my heart, you know what I'm saying, and be there for his son. And that's what I've been doing, being there for his son. You know, that's my baby. He look just like his dad.
Yes,
And
Lord.
he's my baby. And he traveled too. He works, travel all over the world. He call me all the time. Mom, what you doing? What you cooking? And I'm so proud of him because I had to think about his feeling as well.
Right.
And I had to deal with my feelings and his feelings. You know, him expressing himself to me, I'm already dealing with it. And then I'm trying to be strong for him and me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a challenge, but it's okay. It's okay.
So how has love and life been after his passing? What made you say, you know what? I'm gonna go and try this love thing again.
Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Huh. He told me these exact words. I'm gonna say it again. Go on with your life. He's not coming back. He wasn't coming back. So he didn't want me to put my life on hold. I said I wasn't gonna never. be with nobody no more.
Mhm.
And that was selfish of me to even say that to myself because he wouldn't want me to be unhappy. He wanted me to be happy, love still,
And it was
still
almost like
held.
you were denying yourself that.
Yeah. And
And
he
that's
didn't want me to do that.
what, looking at videos and just listening to like grief. Uh, I was in a grief support group when I lost my
Mm,
dad, and it was a
mm,
guy it was a lady that was in there that lost her husband,
mm,
and that was one of the questions they asked. They said, "Well, do you feel like you'll ever experience love again?" She says, "Well, I've my husband's been gone 2 years. I put myself out there now, because his life ended, mine didn't. So why deny myself the happiness?"
mm.
She said, "My love for him will never go away. I didn't get married to fill a void.
Yeah.
I wanted happiness."
It's something that he said to me. He said, I'm giving you happiness. And after death, I still want you to be happy. He
Right.
wasn't selfish, you know? And that's what having them kind of conversation, even when you don't want to have them, is good. Even when you don't want to hear, because just imagine your husband passed away, or God forbid it, and you didn't have these conversations, and
Right.
you're gonna be running in your head, did he want me to move on? Did he want me to be happy? It plays a big key, and some people don't like to talk about it, but it's best to talk about it.
And it was uncomfortable because when he was diagnosed with cancer, we were already in the process of putting wills together, because like I told him, I said, we're married now. We got to start putting pen to paper now. We got to start putting everything in black and white. I say,
Mm,
because everything I went through when my daddy passed, I don't want to go through that with you.
mm.
Because my father's family, babe,
I have to tell
almost had a
you
stroke.
what I'm gonna have to tell you what I have to tell you off the screen because baby, Sister Miles can be lethal.
Yes,
And I can't, baby, I got some
I
stuff to
had
tell you,
almost
baby.
had a stroke.
You gonna be like, what? Yeah, baby. I went through something. But you know what? Me, I'm the type of person, it's not about material things with me. It's about the love
Right,
that we share.
right.
Because no money in the world can buy that.
And money ain't gonna bring him back.
No, at
And
all.
it was like, so when we were talking, so we sat down and we started writing everything out. I say, well, I need to know, what do you want done with your remains? If you go before me, what do you want? Do you want a funeral? Do you want to be cremated? What do you want? He said, no, I want to
Mm,
be cremated. He said, but just make sure that my children have some of my ashes. He said, you could do whatever you want with the rest of them. He said, but just make sure that my children. I say,
mm.
your children? Or he say, when I say
Our.
my children, he say, when I say the children, he say, I'm talking about all six of them. Because he has three and I have three.
Mm.
And I said, okay. I say, well, do you want your ashes scattered somewhere? Like, do you want them to go back to California? What you want? Because I told him, I said, because I'm not arguing with nobody's family. I
Mm-mm.
need you to put everything in
That
black and
give
white.
you a headache there, boy.
Man.
Ooh.
And they
Mm.
do it now. But we'll
For
talk about
what?
that.
Yeah, yeah, we talk about it
Yes, we will.
on the back end. On
But
the back end. Mm.
I told him, I said, because I'm not arguing with family. I said, because I'm gonna tell them, if something happens to you right now and you haven't put anything in writing, baby, come get his body, take him on back to California. I'm not gonna argue.
See, that's the best thing to do. Like people, them are some uncomfortable conversation, but to keep the peace within yourself in your household, what y'all created, you got to be putting that on pen and paper.
Right,
Because if it's not on pen and paper, and they still got somebody else's name on that, and then remove them off there, guess what? It's gonna go to them and not you, and that's gonna be a problem.
right.
So it's best to put it on pen and paper.
And that's what I told him. I said, put it in writing. We going to get it notarized. I say, because I'm not arguing with no
Mm.
family about you. I'm not arguing with your children. I said, I'm not arguing with the children. I'm not doing anything of that. I want whomever goes first. I need it to be less stressful because it's already hard enough that I got to deal with you being gone.
Yes.
Then
Woo.
I got to deal with your family doing this, or you got to deal with my family saying this, or you got to do this, or you got to do that. We're not arguing. putting you
I've
on.
been I've been there, done that. No, 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 no.
And
That's a
I'm not
wrap.
doing it. I'm not doing it because I will get to a point where I say, you know what? I'll ship his body on to California, baby. Y'all do what you will. I told him, I said, we've got to put, mortgage protection on the home in case you go before me. The house will be paid off. You know,
See, one thing
I'm
about
clear
it
my
with
stuff.
that right there, um, I'll talk to you in the back end because I'm gonna tell you some stuff you can do because I know,
Right.
but I'm gonna tell you some stuff on the back end that pay for itself.
But it was just so anyway, so back to you. You're married. It's been 4 years. How
Mhm.
does your husband feel?
One thing about it, he's so understandable. Like, you accumulate stuff and, in that past, he left me a lot of stuff. So he wasn't the type of person, get rid of that. You got He said, that's yours, you keep it. As long as you want. It don't bother me. He wasn't never like, he said, how can I judge a man that done passed that I don't even know? If you loved him, I love him too.
And that's rare. You know,
He's old school.
see, and that's baby, it's something about them old school men. I
They're
don't know what it is.
understandable. They're understandable. Like
Right.
if they mama's boy, it's the way a man treat his mother, he gonna treat you just fine.
Oh yeah. Because when my daughter's I think her phone there she is.
Yeah, he
Because
gonna
when my
treat you
daughter
just
when my
fine. And like I
you sound like a robot, sus. You sound like a robot. I don't know what. Go out and come back in. Go out and come back in. We're having some type of technical difficulty. See, this is exactly why I am gonna come off. Hold on, let me take you off of mute. Let me take you off of mute.
calling my phone while I'm
There you
talking to
go.
you.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
You may have to go out and come back in.
Go out and come back in.
All right. So we had a couple of technical difficulties, but that's okay. She gonna go out and she gonna come right on back in. But having to okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear
All
you.
right, good. I can hear you perfect. So when my daughter's father passed away last year, my husband, he wasn't my husband yet. We was on the way to being that. But he
Mm.
he understood. He said, y'all shared a child together. You know, I could understand you being sad. And I was
He's
sad.
not. He's not selfish, and mine's not selfish. Like he don't like that petty little stuff and knick-knack. Ain't into that. He's about God, working, providing, protecting, enjoying ourselves. All that other stuff outside of that, we don't care nothing about it.
And that's him. Because like I say, when my daughter's father passed, he wasn't in Houston yet.
Mm.
He came the following month. My daughter's father passed March 13th,
Mm.
2024, and he came April, like almost the end
Okay.
of April.
Mm.
But he was understanding. I said, I'm gonna go to the serve. They had a memorial service because he was cremated, and it
Mhm.
was a whole and this and you know what? And I'm so glad I brought that up because that was my daughter's father's issue. He was married, and I don't know what the deal or the issue was, but the wife left him in the hospital for like 2 weeks. She refused to sign off for the funeral home to come get his body. Because
Uh,
remember, when you're married, your children can't, you know, they can make
Can't
medical
nobody,
decisions.
can't nobody move nothing but you.
Right. So it got me to thinking. And that's why I say, we got to have this conversation because he passed on the 13th. And I want to say I want to say before the funeral home came and got his body, I want to say it may have been almost 2 weeks before
Mm.
she finally signed off for the funeral home to come get his body. Mhm.
That's weird.
We'll talk about that on the back end.
Yeah. Don't talk, don't say no more.
But I am gonna keep having these conversations because they're needed, they're wanted, they're imperative.
They are important. They
Right.
are important. Whether a person wanna talk about it or not, I tell people all the time, black and white. And when you marry, you need to get all that stuff straight while that person in their right
Yeah.
mind. Because if they start drifting out, you're gonna be messed up.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
then it's gonna
and
be strung out in court for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. And nobody
yeah,
wants to go through that because at the end of the day, I want to be able to grieve. You understand? I want to be able to feel what I need to feel right then. I don't want to wait. I want to feel it. I don't want to be all tied up in litigations with you because you want the car and and I'm this and that. You
but
know
see
what
one thing, one thing about him, everything, nobody didn't just me.
right,
No, nothing. Ain't no arguing, none of that. But it's a couple things happen. I'll tell you on the back end, you're gonna be like, what? Ooh, girl, I was like, I'm through. I'm done.
right,
I was done. Like I don't conversate with them people, nothing. I don't nothing.
right.
Because the things what I don't like about people, when a person leave it, oh, they love you to death.
Oh
But
yeah,
when they pass away, they look at you like you ain't never existed because
right,
that person ain't alive to talk.
right,
So I'm the type of person, if you treat me like that when somebody happens, something like that happen, I'm not dealing with you at all. Like
right,
I don't trust you. You done lost my trust, everything. Like I'm just a different breed.
right.
I'm just different. Like I'm straight up. If I like you, I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna be the same person every time. You know that. You've been knowing me for years. And I'm not gonna switch up. If anybody switch up, it's gonna be you, not me.
Right.
Because if I say I'm a sister, a friend, or I'm there for you, I meant just that,
So,
And it's just when I went through that, the people that I thought would be there, nothing,
so let me
nothing.
ask you, what have the holidays been like for you? Because remember, the holidays get heavy for a lot of people. So no, let me back up before you answer that question. The year of first is always the hardest because that's the first year without them for their birthday, for the holidays. Can you tell me about that first year? The first birthday without him, the first Thanksgiving, the first Christmas.
Okay, like I say, um, they buried him a day before Thanksgiving, but they still cook. I just wasn't into it. Like I wasn't feeling it. Then his birthday, I just binge watched movie, cried, couldn't
I even saw
sleep.
you go to New Orleans. I think I saw you were in New Orleans.
No, no, I didn't go to New Orleans.
Or were those just the pictures that you were
The
posting?
memories,
Okay.
the memories.
Okay.
Cause that's where we would have been in New Orleans somewhere. We'd have been somebody
Oh, I already know
city.
it.
We've been somewhere, but it was just hard. Like and like now, his birthday was the 6th, and like my husband I got now, he understand. Like he don't like get mad at me or what's wrong with you. He don't do none of that. He comfort me. He console me, and let me know it's okay. And that's what real love is. Like if a person can accept the things that you're going through and hugging you while you going through it, hey, you in the right spot. You in the right
Absolutely.
place. Because a lot of men will not do it. Like at all. Like at all.
So here we are. It's been 4 years. This is the fourth birthday without him. Where are you in your mind now?
I'm good. I'm at peace. I had to let it go. I had to get his clothes. I still had his clothes. Oh my God. Shoes, cologne. I had to give our grandson, all his cologne.
I
Like it
hear
was
that.
just
I
like,
hear that all the time.
I'm like, oh my God.
They say
And so one
clothes.
day I got up. I got up The Lord, I'm ready. Release. Release.
Was it something in you that you knew you were
It
ready,
was time.
or was
It
it
was
just
time. It was time. Because after he passed away, I waited like 18 months. I conversated, but like on a friendly thing, nothing more, nothing less. But after 18 months, I was like, ooh, I got to, he wouldn't want me doing this.
right?
And
When I was putting this episode together, they said after about a year and a half or 2 years is when you finally are ready to
it's like 18 months with me.
get rid of their clothes, because they
Yeah.
said that that's the last thing you get rid of is their clothes. You'll get rid, when it first happens,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you could have the car, you could have this, but the clothes. They say it's
I
something
used to
about the
take
clothes.
his, I used to take his jacket and scent, smell it.
Yeah.
Like the one that they cut him out of, I just throw that away. 18 months that I was into it, had it in the bag, I just smell it. So they cut him out of, and I got rid of it. I had to let it go.
What was the hardest part of that for you?
Letting him go. Um, so much. It's a lot. Like different things. Like I said, the traveling, um, the watching, my NFL sports. Alabama fan. We
Roll Tide.
roll ties all day long. And we watching college football, we watching NFL football, basketball. Him taking me, he took me to an NFL game, the Cincinnati Bengals. I went there and cooking together, getting in our jacuzzi, just having that meantime, quality time together. That plays a big part in our relationship that we had.
So now that you're remarried, do you see any qualities of him in your new husband?
Oh no, oh no, oh no. You already know. Oh no. They night and day. Well, when I say the one I have not is humble, your brother-in-law.
A true Sagittarius.
A true Sagittarius to the heart. Got on my nerve.
Mm,
Nah,
mm,
when
mm.
he passed away, I said, Lord, he didn't get on my nerve, Lord.
But God had to give you him to
Yeah.
find who you really truly were meant to be with. And that's not to say that that was not your love, because he was. Because you got to experience true love. Because I remember
Yeah.
the conversations we had when I was with old boy, and when you would talk about the
Oh,
ups, the downs, the highs, and the lows. But
when you say that, I'll be ready to throw up.
girl, I can't wait to give you the tea on that,
Ooh, I bet it's a mess.
babe. This is a whole bottle of Crown Royal. I'm gonna get you, honey.
Baby, I don't even drink, but I probably drink some Crown while you tell me what's going
This,
on.
baby, this is Hennessy with this is I don't know
Not
what
no
it is.
moon, not no
Cavassier,
moonshine. Moonshine.
something. Cause baby, that we'll talk about that on the back end. Cause
We gotta talk about that on the, but we
that
can't
is a
say too
hot
we
mess.
can't say too much on here because people be trying to figure out this, that, and other. But
Uh-huh.
it's cool. But like I say, the biggest part of living without him is just who he was. He was the life of the party. He was a family man. He was a hard working man. He loved everybody. Anybody he come in contact with, he gonna feed.
I was
He
just about
gonna
to say, because
help.
he love to eat and cook.
Baby, cook, cook. We love to cook. I just miss the adventures. Um, Holding hand, walking on the beach. Watching the sunset come up, watching them, sun go down. Being in the mountains with him, just doing, adventurous things together. And him just loving on me, loving me past my pain or any worry, just making sure I was okay. We was okay.
And I think, what, let me not even say I think, I know for a fact that he is looking and he is smiling. He's like, she's smiling again.
Yeah.
Because
He
he
is.
wanted that for you. And I believe that you can experience true love twice. I believe you can. I believe that first one prepares you for the one that you're gonna grow with.
Yeah.
And I
Cause this
believe
it.
that
This it. This it.
yeah,
To this, I'm gonna be by myself.
I'm
And
right there with you.
I mean that because
We is getting too old trying to figure out what your
yes,
favorite color is
I ain't no teenager no
and
more.
what you like to eat and all that
And
sitting on the
look,
phone till three,
my
4, 5 o'clock.
nerves ain't look, my nerves ain't patient.
Do you hear me? I don't have time to be trying to get to know somebody all over again. I'm
Now that's
good.
the part I'm talking about. That's why I said,
I'm good. I told my husband that. He was like, "Would you move on if I pass?" I was like, "Let me tell you something."
it's
I
gonna
said,
take a
"Baby,
minute.
I say, baby, I'm knocking on 50, sir." I
Yeah.
said, "I am too old,
You ain't 50 yet.
almost."
You gonna have your 50 part. I'm gonna have to, my grandbaby out there in Texas.
In Houston,
Yeah, that's where you at. I have to come see you, gal.
girl, come on,
My
come on.
son want me to move out there. I ain't got time. They be driving too fast up there in Houston.
Yeah,
They've been and ran over your sister. I'll
that's
be
what my
driving like
husband
Miss
said.
J.
I told him, I said, "But you from Los Angeles, baby." I said, "You should be used to this." I said, "Cause on y'all interstates, y'all drive like y'all on a NASCAR racetrack.
I got to
Police
get
too.
I
They
got
be
to
doing
get off here.
80. And
Get
here I
off
am
here.
doing
My
my cool little 60, 70 on the interstate. Baby, they want you to just run, 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 run. Well, you stay on. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show.
Yeah,
You can
cause I
stay
have
on.
to I got to get off. My little niece keep blowing my phone. I got to pick up from work. That's who kept calling my phone. And she texted and said she off work.
And her phone goes again. Her phone goes again.
Hello?
There she goes. She back. Well, once I wrap up, I'm going to call you. Well, her phone hangs up again. But I want to go ahead and I'm going to end on this note. Losing a spouse is never easy. Having to sit down and make arrangements, those final arrangements for your loved one, is never easy. But those conversations are absolutely imperative. True love can happen again. When that person leaves, your life continues. It's like a book. You got to flip the page, you got to pick the pen up, and you got to write again. No one ever wants to lose their spouse. No one ever plans for that. But there's my cousin. What's good, cousin? We're gonna hit you up this weekend. Um, we got a track for you. Let me just say that. We got a track for you, baby. We got a track for you. So losing a spouse again is never easy. Sometimes it's unexpected. Sometimes we know. Either way, we have to deal. I want you to be kind to yourself. Be easy to yourself. Be gentle. And if you know someone that's grieving, extend some type of grace. Show some type of empathy because it's heavy. It's heavy. My cousin say, bet. Man, you gotta hear this song. Man, this song is live. I promise it is. But be kind and be gentle to people. Not just in the holiday season, but every day. Because someone's grieving something, someone's going through something. I want to thank my sister for coming on tonight and sharing her story and what it was like and how she's bounced back since losing her husband 4 years ago. I mean, someone through an episode without a whole lot of crying. Y'all know me. But I want to say I love y'all so, so, so much. Black Girl Interrupt the podcast will be back next Tuesday. Again, for the month of December, we are discussing everything grief. So next week's episode will be What is grief? And how do you deal with it? I will have a special guest with me next Wednesday, so y'all tune in for that. I stream live to Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday, every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You are able to catch all the recaps on all streaming platforms. Just put in Black Girl Interrupt the Podcast, and baby, you're going to see your girl. I'm making moves, y'all. I'm coming for everything they took from me in 2025, but I'm kicking the door in for 2026. So we're going to round out the year so beautifully. And anyone that is looking to do any type of collaborations, because I'm always looking for a guest. If there's a topic that you want me to discuss, if there's something that is going on in your city and you want me to represent, you want me to shout out, whatever it is you got going on, send me an email. There's the email address right there, blackgirlinterruptedpodcast@gmail.com. Let me know if you want to come on, if it's a story, if it's something you want to share, if it's a conversation or a topic that you may want to talk about and you feel like, you know what, Ashley is going to be the one to do it, send me an email. And then I'll reach out and then we'll link up and we'll put something together and we'll make it magic. Because that's what we're all about over here at Black Girl Interrupt the Podcast. So I just want to say to y'all, I love y'all. God bless y'all. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your night. I hope you have a beautiful and yet amazing rest of the week. And be kind to yourself. Be easy to yourself. Take care of your mental, baby. Put them boundaries. Start telling people no. Because you owe it to yourself. Because you only get one life. Ain't no do-overs. Ain't no take-backs. Ain't no rewinding. It still goes on. But I love y'all. God bless y'all. And I'll see y'all next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Baby, don't forget to bring a friend, tell a friend. Let them know how we get down over here on Black Girl Interrupt the Podcast. Love y'all. Holla. Oops, wait a minute. I'm not ready just yet. But I love y'all. God bless you. I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. Whatever it is that you're going through, you're going to make it over. I promise you're going to be A-okay. Love you. Holla.